Welcome to Fred Dreyer Sports, weekend edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show, the Sultan of Safeties. I've talked about this before, 2 safeties in one game, a record that's going to stand for time immemorial. I'm telling you right now. He is the all-pro defensive end, the acting legend, the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer.
You know, my lighting here, there it is. My lighting on my camera is goes in and out.
Yeah, don't worry about it. He'll get it fixed for you. We're here on the show. We're doing a radio show. We're also, if you want to look at the video, as Fred's mentioning, it's on our website at crntalk.com. That's crntalk.com.
It doesn't make any difference about my lighting.
On Saturday on Sports Byline, they don't know what you're talking about. So we're just having a good show here today. So what's happening? We got the big Super Bowl, and that is fabulous. And I told you the unknown quantity would be the Denver defense, and I just got to gloat about it a little bit here. Denver's
well, you're the
defense.
only one? Don't we got to dine out on that now for the next year?
Next year. You're going to listen to me for the next year, my friend.
Jesus.
I'm going to bring it up.
You're that blind hog that finds an acorn.
That's the guy.
That runs to the front of the crowd
One
and says,
solid
look at what I did.
I'm telling you, everybody would say, oh, yeah, they're really great there. You know, that Cam Newton, he's outstanding. I said, hey, you got to be careful. That big deal is going to be that defense. That's the unknown quantity. Right. Denver defense.
You're 50-50. You flip a coin. Is that what you did?
No, I saw that Denver.
Did you handicap it?
Yes.
Give us your wisdom on handicapping.
I picked him, and I almost got the amount of points also. I was 7 points away from being a genius.
Yeah, well, Newton, your quarterback, is a big loser.
Oh, boy, that Cam Newton is really something else, isn't he?
He's a bad guy.
He put his foot into it.
That's not good.
No manners on this guy. This kid is, it looked like he was, held himself pretty well.
Show me a good loser, and I'll show you a loser, Newton said after the game.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. If I offended anybody, that's cool, but I know who I am, and I know what I'm about, and I'm not about to conform or bend to anybody's expectations, because yours or anybody else's expectations would never exceed mine.
That's what he said?
Wisdom. That's what I'm reading it.
I love this. This is
who are you?
An idiot.
And who are you to say that your way is right? What way? To be gentlemanly and professional?
And be class act about the whole thing?
Like there's a right and wrong to that?
No, he's a clod. I'm telling you, the NFL is going downhill on this. No class in this league anymore. When you play, it's a whole different game now.
Yeah, well, now listen, I want to talk about Johnny Manziel when we come back. Last week I ripped him, and I've gotten a lot of people who question my opinion, and I want to straighten something out.
That's what this show's about. It's the PM show on sports, the one and only Fred Dreyer.
Control, do you like mortgages?
Negative, over.
Do you like rockets?
Affirmative, over.
Do you like rocket mortgages?
I'm listening, over.
Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans is the first on-demand mortgage machine that turns the entire mortgage process into a fast, powerful, completely online experience.
Copy that, QL1. I'm going to go ahead and push this button in. 3, 2, 1.
Rocket Mortgage at QuickenLoans.com. Push button, get mortgage.
Rocket.
Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
The savings are heating up at Lumber Liquidators Spring Flooring Kickoff Sale. Our stores are now packed with the latest trends from our new catalog, like the hot look of gray flooring. This week, get 20% off reclaimed gray wood look tile, and check out popular hand-scraped styles like High Sierra Pine, or choose from other varieties of solid hardwood, all up to 20% off. Get great deals on over 35 styles of bamboo from $149 and more from just 49 cents, plus 18 months special financing. For the best deals on over 400 floors, visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you today.
At GoDaddy, a domain name is the beginning of something awesome. Use it to create a website to promote your business. Open an online store to sell your products. Start a blog. Build your brand. You can even connect your domain to your LinkedIn or Facebook page. And GoDaddy customer support is always ready to help. What will you do with your domain name? Get a .com domain name for only $2.99 for the first year. Right now at GoDaddy.com. 2-year purchase required. Second year is $14.99.
You hear that, kid? That's the hum of a well-run facility. You know what I hate hearing? Silence. Silence on a production line means downtime. Downtime means wasted time. Wasted time means wasted money. Silence isn't golden, kid. It's deadly. That's why I love Grainger. With a wide variety of the latest products, Grainger gets us what we need when we need it to help keep this place up and running and humming away. Get it? Got it? Good. Call, click Grainger.com or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For me, it was the big S-Class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend's dad had one.
The SL. All of the SLs. I've been watching those since I was a kid.
I think the 1971 SE was the first Mercedes that just blew me away. Everyone remembers the first time they saw one, and the day they began to long for a Mercedes-Benz of their own. Well, that day may be a lot closer than you think. With a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can experience the luxury, the unparalleled safety, the performance, and the style Mercedes-Benz is famous for at a price you can afford. Beautiful SUVs, sedans, coupes, and convertibles that are factory certified and covered by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 3 years, so you can drive without a worry for as far as you like. And during the certified pre-owned sales event going on now through February 29th, you can receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
Welcome back to Sports with Fred Dreyer. Weekend wrap-up. Coming up here in the last segment of the show, we're going to have a guest today. Terry Blanc's going to be here today, the VP and PR of Communications.
Blunt.
We're going to talk about the NHRA. Terry Blunt will be here.
Yep.
And they're going to be talking about the Winter Nationals. That'll be coming up, so we'll have that and a whole lot more.
Coming up this week, 11th through the 14th.
I am Michael Horn, the star of our show, the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer.
Thanks so very much. Now, listen, I want to talk about this Johnny Manziel thing because I got tweeters and twits and emails.
Tweeners.
I've got everything. I got every way you can communicate with me. Pigeon, everything. I got people
Carrier
sending
pigeon?
me. I got people sending me stuff about, you shouldn't be so hard on Johnny Manziel. He's just a kid. Let me just say something first of all. He's old enough. Johnny Manziel is old enough to know right from wrong. He also
the Cleveland Browns quarterback.
Yeah, they know Johnny Manziel.
Well, in case they don't.
Well,
that's what I'm here
they
for.
Should read the sports
just
page
kind of
and
piece it together for everybody. Go ahead.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Johnny Manziel.
Yes.
He's reported to have been hung over in a quarterback meeting, and there's a big article about saying, was he drunk? No. Was he on something? Well, he was on something, and there's a lot of witnesses said that he was acting funny, and there was clearly a problem with him, so forth and so on. And last week I said, the Browns are going to release this guy. And whether he finds another job or not remains to be seen. Let's hope things work out for him in every way. But here's my point. You only have so much time in life. When you're 20, 21 years of age and you have a gift and a skill that he has, to flaunt it, to fly in the face of God with such arrogance, and to apply your craft in such a cavalier way, is a disgrace, and it's not forgivable. You can say somebody, well, gee, it's not life or death. No, it's not. But here's what it is. This is the difference between forging a positive structure in your life takes place when you get an opportunity where some organization says, we love you, we drafted you, you're the 23rd player picked in the draft, we want you to be the face of our franchise. We're turning the team over to you, and here's $1 million+ to do it.
This is a big deal. That's a huge deal. Who gets that in their life?
Well, nobody.
Exactly.
I mean, how many people get drafted in that situation and have his gifts and his abilities to affect people's lives? And people look to him, and for him to be this stupid. And that's what it is, to be this arrogant and to disparage this opportunity aggravates me. I've seen great athletes. I played with and against these great athletes most of my youth, and I used to have conversations with players at training camp out at Fullerton in the 70s when Chuck Knox was there, and it was a hot day. And we're sitting against the fence before the horn blows, and we know it's going to be a hard double day coming up. And we're sitting there talking about where would you rather be, making kinds of jokes. I like to be at the beach. I like to play golf, and so forth and so on. And it all comes down to, you know what? I'm going to embrace today the best I possibly can and have a lot of laughs. I'm with my friends. They're paying me. Those checks clear. And I've got an opportunity to make a statement. I've got an opportunity to do something today that was better than yesterday. And I can affect people the positive way. This is a short little window you're living in. When the time you're 30, 31, 32 years of age. You're in the league for 8, 9, 10 years. And then at 34, 33, they consider you an old man. They want you out. So you better make hay and make the money that you can and be a great teammate and have a lasting memory that adds to the quality of your life. What you do right now, believe me, I'm 70 years old, and the things that I did when I was 22 and 23 are now sitting out there on the table for everybody to see. And so you either have a great opportunity and you have your attitude in the right set on the right dial, and you go out and you stop behaving like this drunken punk that he's behaving like, and get with the program. Johnny Manziel will be released by the Cleveland Browns in March.
Pitiful.
And he's going to rue the day that happened. Now, whether or not he's going to bounce back, let's hope he does. I root for everybody, but I'm one of the first guys that a teammate of mine. I remember this kind of happened to me early on in my career. You had guys on the team that drank and had their problems and stuff, but they never came to work drunk, blithering drunk, and were that arrogant and were that in your face. And I know it's the culture, I know it's a lot of things, but there's no excuse for it. So I stand by my criticisms of last week.
There you go. I'm with you 100% on this. That's it.
All right.
You've said some things that are just missing from society in general, though. That's the whole thing. You're right, it's a different day in football. For example, let's take the current election. There's all these, there's a few Democratic hopefuls out there, a couple, and there's all these Republicans. And there was a comment made that you wouldn't hire Jeb Bush for your business or whatever. So my thought is this. If you could pick any candidate, Democrat or Republican, and instead of voting for him, hire him for the job to run your business, if you had a business, which one of those candidates would you pick? And the answer, hands down, is Donald Trump. You don't even have to have a second thought. The guy to run your business would be Donald Trump. So therein lies the choice for president, as far as I'm concerned. There's a guy that can run a company, run a business, and hopefully, run the country the same way he does.
So you're breaking it down into
it's just common sense.
A simple job description.
It's like if you didn't have to pay for him, we're voting for somebody for president. Obviously, we pay for him in our taxes, but out of all those people, who would lead and run the place as a business and bring in jobs and make things work? You got to believe it would be Donald Trump.
There's an awful lot to be said for that. There's also a lot to be said for the actual understanding and the running of government, and the other intangible that I don't get into now because that was our old show, but that is there is leadership in this process that we're going through right now with these candidates that is extremely important. And you have to have somebody who understands what is needed and how to speak to the American people. Donald Trump comes out and he makes broad brush strokes about optimism, and that's fine. But there's also the minutia of how and who you're going to surround yourself with to do it. How do you lead?
It's true.
The leader of the Republican Party, the president of the United States, the sitting president, if he happens to be a Republican or is a Democrat like he is now, they're the ones that lead the Democratic or the Republican Party.
Right.
They're the spokesperson for conservatism. We haven't had a president that speaks for conservatism since Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan used to tell the Republican Party, stop sending me these guys that are going to come over here and tell me what I have to say, what I don't have to say. Just stand aside. They hated him for 8 years. George Herbert Walker Bush was the guy that came in and undermined and subverted Ronald Reagan's conservative message to the people. He did that. That's a fact. And so what you wind up with is you have leadership only for a short period of time, and then it comes down to, okay, who can get elected and who's going to be the crony capitalist and stuff like that. I'm all for Trump and Cruz. Everybody else scares me.
Well, I'm just looking at it as this is a statement of who you would get to run your company if it was a business. That's just where I'm looking at. There was a statement made by Trump, and so I'm just echoing it.
Yeah, I understand that.
And
I
it's
don't
the same with
disagree with that.
you're talking about opportunities where Reagan had 8 years and then Bush had 4, and then it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Bottom line is the same thing with Manziel. He had an opportunity that he just trashed. He blew it. So will he get another opportunity? Who knows? We hope he could.
He's just too young to make this type of important mistake.
Exactly.
But here's the other thing: if you're going to make this type of mistake, people will probably have more of a tendency to forgive you if you're 22 or 23.
Which is what they're doing to you. They're saying go easy on them, is what they're telling you.
Well, yeah, but look at.
But your career is in those years. That's when you got to be ready to play the game.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, I don't care. I don't care what the criticism is. You can't tell me that just because he's young, you have to ignore a couple of things. I'm not going to ignore things. He's got a responsibility. He knows the difference between right and wrong, what he should be doing. Not everybody's showing up drunk. So let's get with it. Let's get with it.
It's the PM Show on Sports with Fred Dreyer. I'm Michael Horn. You can email Fred Dreyer,
yes, by all means.
Dreyer at crntalk.com. Follow him on Twitter, Fred_Dreyer, Dreyer. Fred_Dreyer. Check it out. Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California, with the finest art gallery, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com.
Hi, friends. This is Larry Manetti. Go to LarryManetti.com to get my book, Aloha Magnum. You'll read all about the wonderful guest stars like Carol Burnett, Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, and many, many more. Also, there is an episode guide and my favorite recipes that I really cook at home. I will include a free signed photo with every book. Get Aloha Magnum at LarryManetti.com. Order now. Aloha.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. And little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. With one phone call, you'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information. It's a free service, so call now.
Call now, 800-704-6182, 800-704-6182.
Weekend Sports with the one and only Fred Dreyer. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show, Sultan of Safeties, all-pro defensive end, acting legend Fred Dreyer. You know, Fred,
yes.
I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but the unknown quantity at the Super Bowl last week was, of course, the Denver defense. And I want to do a shout-out to my buddy Wade Phillips. I believe that's Bum Phillips' kid, isn't it? Or
yes,
yeah,
it's his son.
His son. Good ball team, good ball club. Bum Phillips, and was a big man, big coach at Houston. Anyway, Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator for the Broncos, did quite a job. I'm telling you, he should get the most valuable award of the game.
They did a great job. They prepared for the Panthers.
Preparation. I would love to watch the game with you because you watch the game and see what happens. And here's what I want to ask you about the Super Bowl last week because you had your Cam Newton. Everybody was saying he's great. He's going to win this. They only lost one game. Carolina one game during the year. And he always had a smile on his face. But because of the pounding he took by the defense of Denver, and he got knocked down a few times, the smile left his face. If you kept watching him and saw those close-ups, he wasn't having a good time.
That's right.
So what did you see unfold early on? What was it that Denver did to kind of set the standard for the game?
Well, first of all, the whole sport is predicated on breaking your opponent's will at the line of scrimmage.
Correct.
That's what Denver's defense did to the Panther offense. They controlled the line of scrimmage and then put a horrendous rush on the edges through the tackles. And when they did that, they had guys up the middle closing in the tackles, and the guards, centers, and tackles. So they made him throw out of like a horseshoe off his back foot. They prevented him from stepping up over his right foot and getting zip on the ball and keeping the ball low. So the ball sailed a couple of times, and he rushed it, and he was a little shy in there after he got hit a couple of times, especially after they sacked him, pulled the ball away, and then they got the touchdown.
Right.
So it was 10-0, and things were starting to leak pretty fast. And so, but it's always, you always go back to the line of scrimmage. Plus, they had great coverage. The defensive the backs for the Broncos did a great job snapping down on the receivers and left him very little choices. What I thought was going to happen, certainly in the second half, was that they would come out and they would either employ two tight ends or spread everybody out and then start running Cam Newton, waggle him, which is a weak side rollout by the quarterback, or
change their plan. You were looking to see,
get him out away from the rush.
Right.
Cut the field down so you're only having to deal with two or three people to the side that you're rushing.
That's
on.
what's called making adjustments during the game, right?
Well, yeah, sure. And at halftime, and they would, I would have just said, look, throw all of this stuff out that we've been doing. It's only 13-7 at halftime.
Right.
So you're still in the game. Let's not panic, but let's now come back out and give them different looks offensively and force the defense of Denver's to make adjustments. And, of course, Cam stood in the pocket. I just couldn't believe it. I was watching it at a friend of mine's house, and I just kept saying, I said, I don't know what they did at halftime other than eat orange slices.
You think that's what they had in the locker room?
That and Kool-Aid.
And Kool-Aid?
Yeah. Those are always big.
Orange slices and Kool-Aid.
Well, it's a big game.
Yeah, got to be healthy.
But my point is that they didn't do anything with Cam. You can't afford to allow your quarterback to be not only hit, but you can't let him be depressed. He's the team leader.
Yeah, when that smile went away from his face and the seriousness look came over, that's when reality set in, and that's when his
will
demeanor changed.
Was broken.
There you go.
That's right.
You got to break their will at the line of scrimmage and then beyond that. So that's what they did. They broke the quarterback's will.
And then when I saw that they weren't making those types of adjustments, I kept thinking, well, they're lucky that it's what is it? It was 16 to 6 or 16 to
something like that.
7 or something, 16 to 7. I said, well, this is about it. You either catch up,
do or die time,
or you're done. And it didn't work out for him.
And it made for a bad press conference afterwards when Cam Newton just sort of kind of walked away from it.
But before that, we had Beyonce giving.
Now, did you enjoy the halftime? Because you're a big halftime fan.
Oh, yeah, I taped it. I taped it. No, I taped it.
Beyonce's giving a tribute to the Black Panthers.
Yeah, those are a bunch of heroes.
Yeah, terrorist group that was in this country.
Pathetic.
What is wrong with Beyonce? She wasn't around at that time. How can she even be hornswoggled into stupid thinking?
These people don't even know their own.
They don't even know what they're doing.
It's just But
it has the word black in it. Let's just go ahead and give them tribute.
Well, the Black Panthers.
Yeah, the Black Panthers.
Well, it's the Panthers. It's the. I think it's homage to
violent group.
It's the Carolina Panthers and the Black Panthers.
Is that what it was? So I got you. Maybe she was confused.
That's what it was.
That's right. Yeah. Maybe that was it.
But
maybe she was giving tribute to some of the players who are black on the Panthers. Maybe that's how the confusion got.
That's what happened.
That could be it.
Yeah, I think.
All right, I think you've solved it.
Uniforms are mixed up.
You always have a different look at this at the game. Okay, now it makes sense to me.
Yeah, they came out and It's like springtime for Hitler, you know.
That's it. And did I tell you that I'm really liking Wade Phillips? Here's one thing Wade liked, the defensive coordinator for Denver Broncos. He was all enthralled with Lady Gaga's national anthem. She did a great job.
I was enthralled.
Yeah, that's something for you.
I'm not a big, I cringe whenever time someone sings the national anthem.
You've heard it many times in your career.
Well, everybody has. I mean, not just me, but I thought when I heard that she was going to sing it, I said, well, she's got a good voice. I know that. Let's see what happens. And she really pumped it out, and the flyover was perfect.
Oh yeah,
he hit the timing just beautifully, and I thought the Gaga did a good job, and the Air Force guys came in and did their deal. But the Knicks fired our guy.
The Knicks fired somebody?
Yeah, head coach.
Oh, no.
Our head coach, Derek Fisher.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I like Derek Fisher.
He finishes his career with an overall record of 40-96.
40-9, not too good. And I do like Derek Fisher.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
But, who's running that? Is still Phil up there still doing some stuff?
Yeah, Phil's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time they're going to give him.
Kurt Rambis is the associate head coach there, I guess, at that place. Is he named to the interim head coach right now?
He's been around 18 years as a coach.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the Lakers team there as far as the coaching brain trust is there. Maybe the Lakers should get those guys back along with Phil, take care of everything.
I don't think so.
Phil Jackson?
I don't think that's. I don't
you don't think so?
I don't think it'd be a good idea.
You don't?
No, I think that they would.
Lakers are going nowhere.
Well, if you've paid attention to the team lately, they have spurts of what I think is going to be a pretty good nucleus of players.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I don't think they're that good now, but they need a little seasoning. They need. Oh, listen to this. It was reported that
there you go. Inside
Kevin
report.
Durant.
Yes.
Kevin Durant is very favorable to becoming a Laker.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you hear that?
You've heard that. You haven't?
No,
heard that?
I haven't heard that one. I'm glad you brought that up.
Well,
good.
I bring it up. He likes the possibility of joining the team. See what I told you?
Because Kobe's going to be gone.
He's going to be gone. And how'd you like to be a young player today?
Right.
And have to go to work, go to practice, but certainly go on the road, and endure the "We love you, Kobe,"
sure.
which is understandable.
Well, it's understandable.
But still, in all, you got young players that need to play.
Yeah.
I'd tell Kobe and I'd tell these other guys that, hey, look, I'd just put them out there and I'd play them. If they made turnovers or if they made mistakes, that's fine. But I'd put them together the way I think that I would want them to be playing with one another. I'd put them up. I put the lineup out there that I thought that's the lineup we're going to have here in the next couple of years. I'd play them right now and just tell them, you're the group I love. I want you guys to go out there and play like hell. You know what to do. If you make mistakes, we'll take a look at them. But this is the team that's going to be here. So let's just, let's pull our heads around and get around this idea of playing defense.
Aren't they doing that a little more and more?
Well, they're playing better more and more.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I get exhausted when I watch these teams.
I'm loving hockey. You don't talk enough hockey, but these Kings are looking pretty good.
No, they're 35 wins, the 35, 36
Kings are looking
wins.
good. You have been to a couple of games there, and I think we need to get you out to another game.
Yeah, I told you this. I told this to a friend of mine, my good friend Sal Marciano in New York. He's Mr. Sports back there.
Okay.
And,
what did you tell Sal?
I told Sal, I said, to my surprise, I was very impressed with the Kings fans and how
they're good,
polite, and how good, and how what great fans they were, and how it was nice to see a large mass of people together who kind of got along with one another.
They're 37-17-3.
37.
Yeah, 37 wins, 17 losses, 3 ties.
Yeah, but I like the feel of how the people gathered and went into the stadium, and I liked how they treated everybody and how behind the Kings they were. And when the game was over, how they left the stadium.
Very loyal they are, and then I'm telling you that the hockey fan is still probably the best fan in sports today. I think as far as not being screwballs.
I mentioned this to Sal. You know what he told me about that?
What did he say?
He says one of the reasons, he loves hockey. He used to be with the Rangers, Devils and the Islanders and everything. So, but he said that it was the junior hockey system where players went to live with families.
Yeah, that is true. You know, when Luc Robitaille came up and Jimmy Carson many years ago at the Kings, they lived with Marcel Dion when they joined the squad. He kind of took them into his house and had them there, and they kind of learned, you know.
And all of them came up through that area of good behavior and mannerly.
They really
behavior.
do. So, I don't know if they still are now because there's been some problems, but for the most part, hockey players are pretty cool.
Hey, when we come back, we have a guest, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Coming back up here today, we're going to have Terry Blunt. He is the VP and the Communications Director for NHRA. We're going to talk about the NHRA Winter Nationals, which is taking place next week, you said, right?
Yeah.
That'll be pretty good. So we'll get that story and find out what's going on at the NHRA. And we'll have some more sports for you as well. It is the PM show, sports with the one and only Fred Dreyer, weekend edition here. You can follow Fred on Twitter, Fred_Dreyer, Facebook.com/The Real Fred Dreyer, and email him, FredDreyer@CRNTalk.com.
I just sneaked into my kids' rooms and took temperatures while they're sleeping, thanks to my Exergen thermometer. All I did was swipe their foreheads for a few seconds. It didn't even wake them up. My sister, the nurse, told us about the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, and it's the best. Real value for the money and truly a lifesaver. Now I don't have to deal with ears or rears, if you know what I mean.
I'm Dr. Frank Pompey, founder of Exergen. Thousands of hospitals and clinics rely on temporal scanners. I'm confident you will too.
The Exergen Temporal Scanner. Pick one up at Costco and other fine retailers, or visit us at Exergen.com.
Try Fry Vineyards, the Mendocino County organic wine with no sulfites added. Fry Wines, America's pioneering organic winery. They were the first to go organic, the first maker of certified biodynamic wines in the United States. At Fry Wines, our emphasis is on producing organic wine of the highest quality while caring for our planet and palate alike. Check out our website at frywine.com and join the Fry Vineyards Wine Club. You'll receive 20% off all orders and much more. Plus, you can check out our internet-only specials. Great biodynamic wines from Redwood Valley in Mendocino County, California. Fry Wines. Go to frywine.com. That's FREYWINE. Fry Wine. FREYWINE.com. Check it out and enjoy great wines at your home tonight.
Are you looking to increase the number of calls you receive at your business? Well, CRN Talk is introducing a new way for customers to reach you without having to remember your phone number or web address. Customers simply dial pound 250 from their mobile phones to say your business name. That's it. They'll be directed immediately to your phone line and receive a text message with a link to your website and phone number. It's that easy. It works so well that we're using it in this commercial. To sign up, dial pound 250 and say, "Help my business." That's pound 250, "Help my business."
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante in Fullerton, California for authentic family-style Italian dinners. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate your party or event in one of our festive banquet rooms. Angelo's and Vinci's, Fullerton, California, 550 North Harbor Boulevard. Named the Orange County Hot List Top 5 Italian restaurant for 7 years in a row. And a Top 10 pizza restaurant by Gale, featuring traditional and award-winning pizzas. Offering Sunday champagne brunch from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., just $16.95. Choose from over 20 items, plus create your own personal omelet. Delicious lunches, including our express lunch buffet, $8.95 with over 15 items. And dinner 7 days a week. Getting married? Angelo's and Vinci's won this year's Wedding Wire Couples Choice Award. You can talk to our experienced staff of wedding coordinators. We treat you as guests at your own wedding reception. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Restaurante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. 714-879-4022. Weekend sports here on Sports Byline and CRN. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show, the Sultan of Safeties. 2 safeties in one game, the all-pro defensive end, the acting legend from Hunter, Crisis, recently Agent X. I'm talking about Fred Dreyer, and we got a guest here, Fred.
Thank you so very much.
Terry Blunt is here, the Vice President and Public Relations and Communications Director of the NHRA, National Hot Rod Association. He is on the line with us right now. Hello, Terry.
Hi, how's it going?
Fabulous.
Terry, how you doing?
I'm doing great. We're real excited about starting the season.
Hey, listen, just for the listening audience, This is the 56th annual Circle K NHRA Winter Nationals. That's February 11th, which is Thursday through Sunday the 14th. And
kicks off at Pomona, California.
It's in Pomona, California.
Yep.
And before we get started, can you tell people how to get tickets before we get into this?
Certainly. They can just go. The easiest way is just to go to NHRA.com on our website. There's tons of links there to click on tickets, whether it be a link at the top of the page for tickets, whether it be the event box itself. That is a really easy way to get tickets. Of course, they can always call our offices in Glendora, but really the easiest way to get tickets is just to go to our website, click on any of those links, and it's really simple to buy tickets for this weekend's event or any event for that matter.
Great, and you're expecting great weather because it's hotter than hell right now, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. I just looked at my car; it was 92 degrees.
Now, my good friend Don Perdome and Tom the Mongoose McEwen told me that the hotter it is, the unfriendlier it is for the cars, and so
the cars will not run well in really hot weather. The track gets slick when it's hot, and it makes it harder to get traction on the tires. The cooler it is, it's a little better. The tires will stick to the track better. So hot weather's not great. However, we will take hot weather any day over rainy weather.
Yeah, that's correct. That's absolutely great.
We're good with that. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. We want everybody to bring their girlfriend to the track for Valentine's Day, and we're thrilled about that. We actually feel like we caught a big break this weekend because it's very rare, but every LA professional team is on the road this week.
Really?
So we think we caught a big break there.
Well, that is a big break.
So we think it's a great weekend for people to come out to the track, especially if they've never been there. It's really, and you know this, Fred, for someone who's never seen it in person, it'll just blow you away.
Yeah, it's
when you
terrific.
See it for the first time.
It really is a great experience, especially for the first time, and it's tank top weather. And
I'm there.
And
there you go.
Mike's you're going to wear your tank top.
I'll have my tank top. Yeah, you didn't know you could wear those. I'll be there.
No problem.
We're speaking with Terry Blunt, is one of only 3 members of the media wing of the Texas Motorsports Hall of Fame.
Well, Terry, that's pretty good honor there. VP and PR Communications.
I'm really happy about that. I've worked on the journalism side of this business for over 30 years and covered racing in Texas for over 20 years. And Texas Motor Speedway was a big part of my life for a long time, covering the NASCAR races there, the IndyCar races there, and I also covered all the NHRA events in Houston and Dallas for many years. But to be part of that, and I actually went in on the same day that John Force and Richard Petty went in. So that was a really fun night, and I was tremendously honored. That is an award that's voted on by my peers, and I was tremendously honored. It was a fun night for me and my family.
What kind of car you drive, Terry?
Well, now I'm driving a Toyota Highlander because Toyota is one of our big sponsors,
right?
And they like us to drive their cars, and I'm thrilled to do so. And I have a Toyota Highlander hybrid, and it gets great gas mileage.
Well, that's something
because I drive 30 miles to the office every day, so that's great.
Well, you don't never really hear someone who is in the drag racing business
worried about mileage,
about the gas mileage.
Yeah, so
we're all about doing the right thing for the environment and all that kind of stuff. So it's great. I mean, considering that a top fuel dragster uses gallons per mile instead of miles per gallon.
That's very
well.
True.
Let me ask you while we get into this, give us a little bit of the statistics that some of the people who are maybe listening to this for the first time or are trying to are considering going out there.
Yeah, the NHRA opening up this weekend.
I do like to tell people that because Fred, you can't. Watching it on TV, and by the way, we've got a great new TV deal with Fox, 17 live races. We're really excited about that.
17 races coming up. Yeah.
17 races live. We have 24 events, but 17 are going to be live.
That's great.
We had to go live. We knew that. That's great. So anyway, for people who've never seen it in person, though, and only seen it on television, it is a much different experience. And, it's basically we have a rocket ship on the ground that is that is going straight down the track.
Right.
And we're talking about a top fuel dragster and a funny car have almost 11,000 horsepower in the engine. Now, to give you some perspective on that, a Sprint Cup car in NASCAR has 800 horsepower, and that is about the same for an Indy car. So that's over 10 times as much horsepower.
Well,
now,
how can you? Let me ask you something though. How can you calibrate the actual horsepower?
As a matter of fact, that's a good point. We never knew for sure. We always estimated you could estimate by the time traveled and by the engine block cubic inches. But it was always an estimate until this off season. And this off season, we had the University of Purdue do a study with us that actually calibrated the actual horsepower using some of the top fuel engines used by Don Schumacher Racing. They did this in Indianapolis, and they found that the horsepower ranged somewhere between 10,500 and 11,000 on any given run, depending on the weather conditions.
Wow.
So we've actually been estimating a little low on that. So that much horsepower for someone who's never seen it, when it takes off, we're talking about a vehicle that goes 1,000 feet in less than 4 seconds at 330 miles an hour. And the driver's experiencing between 5 and 6 Gs during the run, which is more than a shuttle astronaut experiences at liftoff.
Come
Far
on.
more than a shuttle astronaut.
Wow.
Really.
Wow.
So it's quite a thing. But to be there, though, is so much different. It's such a sensory experience because it is so loud. The ground literally shakes at your feet. And when you see it in person, you go, oh, my gosh. I have never taken anyone to an NHRA event for the first time when they didn't walk away saying, I've never seen anything like that. I didn't even know that kind of thing existed.
Yeah, it's really something. I know that the great Joe Paisano, had some eye problems because of the G-forces over the years.
Really?
Yeah, there's a couple of
guys. It really
guys.
will, and it's also when you stand close to the line, the nitro and the nitromethane fuel will actually burn your eyes. Your eyes will water at the starting line because it's so strong and so poignant and pungent. But it's quite an experience for the first time people go. We do a thing, we call it baptism by nitro, where we bring out a new person, we put them on a stage by the line and let them experience for the first time. And it's really amazing to watch.
I did that.
You did that?
The old great Kenny Bernstein put me right down there about 10 feet from the car,
and
just
what
on
happened?
the other side of the wall. He said, just stand here and then let me know what you think.
And what did you think?
Right.
It was like, it's like watching a rocket launch. You just stare for a little while.
You just look, huh?
But it goes right through you,
Wow.
You also get dirty. You don't realize it. You'll go back and you'll look at yourself in the mirror and you'll see these black marks on your forehead.
Yeah, all that rubber taken off. Now, what happened? What happened to the? I know several years ago we, I think was it Doug Coletta? Was it Doug Coletta that was
Todd?
Scott Coletta was killed, and they changed the quarter mile back down to 1,000 feet.
Right. We've been at 1,000 feet since that happened for safety reasons. We felt that some of our tracks, not all of them, but we felt some of the tracks didn't have a long enough runoff area to continue to run 1,320 feet. And since we've made that change, first of all, the cars now are going as fast at 1,000 feet as they were going at 1,300 feet, or faster, actually. And secondly, it has led to a lot closer finishes. So many of our finishes are within thousandths of a second and within inches at the finish line. And it's made for a lot closer racing and a lot more exciting racing. People ask us all the time, will we go back to the quarter mile?
Yes.
And what we say is we review that every year. That's a constantly under review. We're not saying we would never do that. Right now, we're very happy at 1,000 feet because the racing is so competitive at 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
But we're not saying we would never go back to 1,320 feet. That's a possibility. There are some tracks where we would have concerns about that in the runoff area. But we review it every year, and we look at it and say, what is going to give us the best racing and the best competition? And we feel like, at this point, it really does happen at 1,000 feet.
Well, if you just joined us, we're talking about racing here. NHRA, National Hot Rod Association, Vice President of PR and Communications, Terry Blunt, is here in the 56th Annual Circle K NHRA Winter Nationals taking place this weekend. This is the kickoff, and you're saying how many races? You got 23 events, and 17 are going to be broadcast live on Fox?
Yeah, we actually have 24 events, and, we're going to Fox. This is our first year with Fox. We're delighted about it, and the reason we did it is we realized that in this era of instantaneous information, where everyone's on Twitter and Facebook, and young kids are texting all their information and Instagram, everyone knows what happens about anything in any given moment within seconds. So we realized if we were going to be a serious major league sport, we had to be live on television. We had to go live.
Makes sense.
So Fox is allowing us to do 17 of our 24 events live this year. Not only that, but 4 of our events this summer are going to be on the Fox Network Live. That has never happened in the history of the NHRA. Yes, many, many years ago, we used to be on Wide World of Sports, but that was not live. That was always tape delayed. This will be the first time in our history that we've
That's
been
good.
on network broadcast television live, and this is going to bring so many more
Terry, this is
eyeballs
good.
to the sport. We're really excited about it, and the teams are excited about it, and we think it's going to be we really believe this is going to be a transformative year for the sport. We have a new slogan that says, this is a new era for us. We are shifting gears into a new era. That's our new saying, and we really mean that because there's so many things that are new and different this year from anything that has ever happened in NHRA in the past.
Well, you can't get a ticket. Every time I go out there, I'm usually the guest of somebody. Fortunately, I get my little seats up there, behind the starting line, and Tom McEwen usually gets me some good seats, and
right.
I go out and walk around and visit some old friends. But the place is always packed. You can't get a seat Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's a great event, especially when the weather's great. You go out and you park your car, you walk around, you're there till the sun goes down, and it's a lot of fun. And it only comes around twice to Pomona every year, the beginning and the middle, the beginning and the
Fred,
end.
what we tell people is we want people to understand that. And by the way, we do have tickets available this week. It is Valentine's Day, so it is kind of tough for the boyfriend to tell his girlfriend, hey, for Valentine's Day, let's go to the races. But so we do have some tickets left. But
where do you get the tickets? Terry, where can you?
They can get tickets obviously at the facility at the Fairplex there in Pomona, or really easily through the website. Just go to our website NHR.com. But what we want people to know is you don't just sit out there for 5 hours. You go back in between rounds, back into the pits. Every ticket is an open pit pass. You literally can stand within 10 feet of the teams working on the cars. The drivers come out and talk to you between rounds, give you autographs. It is an incredible experience. We're the only motorsport left where that's true, where the fans can really interact with the drivers. And there's so much to do out in the Midway, so many interactive devices. It's just a really great experience for fans and just for people in general to bring their kids and come out there. By the way, all kids under 12 get in for free. And we're really, that's something we pump up, and we really want to get more young people to our events. But we want people to know that it's not just sitting there all day.
There's a lot of if you go back into the pits and back into the areas where all the trucks are lined up, they've got all kinds of displays up there. They got all kinds of engine parts, wheels, cars. They got all kinds of interesting things there. I usually go over to see what kind of car they're welding together over there, and it's
you
really,
like the welding.
I love the welding, and of course there's always Tom McEwen. He's in the back there, teaching.
The Mongoose 56th annual Circle K NHRA Winter Nationals coming up this weekend, the 11th through the 14th. This will be at Auto Club Raceway at Pomona, coming to your area soon. To find out more, go to NHRA.com. NHRA for National Hot Rod Association. NHRA.com/tickets. Terry Blunt, thanks so much for being with us. You're the man.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Terry.
We continue straight ahead here. Are you gonna drive one of these days, Fred?
What?
One of these funny cars?
Once they get up to 12,000 miles per hour.
Then you'll cop in one. That's good.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. With one phone call, you'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information. It's a free service, so call now.
Call now, 800-704-6182, 800-704-6182. When you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse in Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. If you haven't been to Columbo's, you don't know what you're missing. Delicious food. The steaks on this side are fabulous. The seafood so fresh and flavorful. Columbo's family Italian specialties are Southern California legendary, and the meatballs, the best in the West, North, South, and East. Plus service that's friendly but not fawning, and jazz every night, and it's also affordable. That's what makes Columbo's special, and they make special easy, whether for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's why when you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's, because it really is that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's, making special easy every day. Columbo's, mangia.
Attention CRN listeners in Arizona. Now all of your mortgage needs can be handled by Advance Capital Mortgage. Looking for a reverse mortgage, refinance, new purchase, or just to streamline your FHA and HARP? Our rates are great with dozens of lending solutions. Call Advance Capital Mortgage, 855-437-8421. That's 855-437-8421. 855-437-8421. MBO 91903, MLS 716936. Weekend Sports from CRN and Sports Byline. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show, Mr. Fred Dreyer.
Thank you so very much. We want to thank Terry Blunt, the NHRA, for stopping in and giving us some information.
That's kind of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
I've never been. I want to go sometime.
Well, you got to get out there.
I want to go with you.
You can go with me. And maybe on Valentine's Day, I'll take you out there.
Would you take me out
Would you wear your tank top?
I'll wear the tank top if you take me on Valentine's Day.
Can I just make a request?
Sure.
Shave your back.
Okay, I'll do it for you. Yeah, I'll take it.
But I want to thank Terry, and great to have him on the show anytime. He's welcome. And the NHRA has got its 56th annual Circle K Winter National starting this week, and it's also Valentine's Day. And here's the other thing I'd like to say.
Yes?
It's been great. We'll see you next time.
No, it's not as great. There's a lot that you're going to say here today. It is really. You're getting all excited about the Rams season getting ready to open up here.
Is that the reason?
I think so. I can tell you're getting pumped up. You have history again. Once again with the Rams back in L.A.
Heart palpitations.
Are you?
No.
No, but I mean, come on. It's like I look at sports shows in Los Angeles. Now we do this show out of Hollywood, California, and you look and you check it out and you see what's going on. I mean, this is the deal. So it's good.
What's the deal?
Well, that you see all the old Rams coming back on these shows. They're on everywhere.
Well, you'll see.
That old guy, Vince Ferragamo, they wheeled
Vinny,
in.
it's always good to see Vinny.
Yeah.
Every time we see Vinny, I always whisper to him, throw it to the guy with the horns.
Is that what? Did he have always trouble with that?
That's what he said at the Super Bowl when he threw it. When he threw it to Jack Lambert.
It's too bad. Just throw it to
hey,
the guy.
Vinny. No, the guy with the horns.
Yes,
That's the guy you want.
You guys are great, let me tell you. All right, we're here every week at this time. If you miss anything, you can contact Fred, email him.
Yeah, you can do
Fred Dreyer, this is email address. Fred, F-R-E-D, there's your Fred. Dreyer,
that's right.
D-R-Y-E-R, there's your Dreyer, at crntalk.com. crntalk.com, like in challengeradionetwork.com. You can follow him on Twitter, Fred_Dreyer. And you can also check him out on Facebook, facebook.com/The Real Fred Dreyer. All right, thoughts for the upcoming week, Fred? What do you think?
Well, we're locked in. It's NHRA time. It's a Valentine's Day. I'm ready to roll. I don't know about you. I want to thank everybody for listening in. It's been a great
Happy Valentine's
week.
Day to you, Fred.
And Super Bowl's over with, and it's only, what is it, 10 days for pitchers and catchers?
Oh, are they going to spring training? Are you and I going to go to spring
darn
training?
Close. I'm not going.
Yeah, let's go and hang out with Tommy Lasorda. Come on.
Let's bring Tommy a tank top.
Get him out of the Winter Nationals.
Exactly.
Have a great week, everybody.
The radio channel. From townhall.com, I'm Keith Peters. The Senate has voted 96-0 to approve new sanctions against North Korea. Correspondent Linda Kenyon has that story.
The sanctions bill comes after North Korea said earlier this year that it had successfully tested a hydrogen bomb. The bill goes further than the House-passed legislation of last month by requiring the Obama administration to sanction those involved with North Korea's nuclear weapons program. The leaders of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee say this bill makes it clear the U.S. will not tolerate North Korea's proliferation of its weaponry.
The bill also imposes sanctions against anyone involved with North Korea's trade in arms-related materials, luxury goods, human rights abuses, and cybersecurity activities. The GOP presidential field has been whittled down by 2 today. Both businesswoman Carly Fiorina and New Jersey Governor Chris Christie announced they were suspending their campaigns after they lagged behind the field during last night's New Hampshire primary. The other candidates headed to the next primary state, South Carolina. Republican presidential candidate Senator Marco Rubio says Saturday's debate taught him he needs to be more aggressive in responding to critics.
No matter how much you want to avoid an inter-party fight, you're going to have to deal with it frontally. Because if you don't, people are going to say, you know what, he didn't address the issue before him.
While Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz says he's not looking for approval from Washington insiders.
You know, when we launched the campaign, the New York Times promptly opined, Cruz cannot win because the Washington elites despise him. I kind of thought that was the whole point of the campaign.
The House has approved legislation to clarify the Environmental Protection Agency's authority to notify the public about danger from lead in their drinking water. That's a response to the water crisis in Flint, Michigan, where state regulators attempting to save money switched the water source to the corrosive Flint River. That caused a spike in child lead exposure. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 100 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Do you have friends and family who have met on eHarmony? Have you heard firsthand some of our great relationship stories? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren, and maybe you've thought, I wonder if I should finally try eHarmony. Well, now's the perfect time. Our free communication weekend is on this Wednesday through Monday only. Free communication means you get unprecedented access to eHarmony, including sending messages to people who interest you. It's truly the first step in finding that perfect someone to make you really happy. And this weekend, you can start for free. eHarmony makes 10 million matches per day based on our signature matching system. We match on qualities that really count in a happy relationship. So what are you waiting for? Visit eHarmony and connect for free this Wednesday through Monday only.
Accident investigators are recommending that the federal government require air shipments of rechargeable batteries be separated from other flammable cargo to prevent uncontrollable fires that can destroy airplanes.
The National Transportation Safety Board says its recommendation is based on an investigation by South Korean authorities of the destruction of an Asiana Airlines cargo plane in July 2011. In a letter to the Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, the National Transportation Safety Board said that a fire on board the plane developed on or near 2 pallets, one containing lithium-ion batteries for hybrid electric cars and the other with flammable liquids. The source of the fire couldn't be determined. 17 minutes after the pilots reported the fire, the Boeing 747 broke up over the ocean despite efforts to reach a place to land. Jeremy House, Washington.
And news and analysis always at townhall.com. I'm Keith Peters. Despite recent economic developments in China and elsewhere, Fed Chair Janet Yellen says the U.S. economy is on the right track.
Yellen sees encouraging signs.
Household spending has been supported by steady job gains and solid growth in real disposable income, aided in part by the declines in oil prices.
However, she acknowledged conditions in China and plunging oil prices are a concern.
These developments, if they prove persistent, could weigh on the outlook for economic activity in the labor market.
In her semi-annual report to Congress, Yellen held firm to her belief the U.S. economy will continue to grow and the global economy will follow.
That's Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines reporting. The federal government's taking Ferguson, Missouri to court because it failed to accept an agreement improving the way police and courts treat poor people and minorities. City leaders cite the cost of the proposed agreement. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Are you worried about losing your home to foreclosure? If you've been threatened with foreclosure or received legal papers from your bank, you have approximately 30 days to respond. If you do not respond, you could lose your home. You have rights. Act now to protect your rights. You can stay in your home. Many times you can even modify your loan. The bottom line is you can get past this, but you must act right now. If you've been served by your bank and you're worried about losing your home to foreclosure, now is the time to fight back and save your home. Time is limited, so call the professionals at National Foreclosure Defense right now.
800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. That number again is 800-515-6309.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. This month, our Delta Boost is on special. In my opinion, this is the most advanced form of vitamin E. It promotes healthy circulation, overall cardiovascular function. Buy 2 bottles and get the third one